Good morning, everyone. So I was getting ready to do my Gemini reading, but instead it appears that I am doing another video for those of you who have walked into hell. I did one a couple of weeks ago, and I feel like it's time to maybe reach out to some of you guys that have just started down the deep, dark hole of hell on earth. And I feel, okay, I was going to say, that one feels like it wants to come out. So Eight of Cups is the first card, and basically it's kind of like all of these cups that are laying on the ground. And to me, that is saying that you are, the word despair comes up, but basically it's like you are looking at everything that's tumbling down around you, and there is very little that anyone can do to convince you that everything is not lost, because even in that, there's still some cups that are standing, but it's like your stuff is spilling out all over the place. I also feel like that's partially emotions that are spilling out all over the place. Your money's spilling out all over the place. Your life is just like kind of crashing down around you. I also, the phrase bull in a china shop feels like it's coming in, kind of like you feel like a bull walked into your china shop and just went nuts, and broke everything, I guess is the way to put that. Is like that's how you feel like your life is right now, that everything has just been broke and dismantled. And those are the people that I am talking to right now. Those of you who have found yourself and your life being dismantled, and you're trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. So, God, I have 4 cards here. Okay, so 4 of Wands in reverse. To me, that is probably some of you who maybe you just went through a breakup. Your spouse left you, or you left your spouse, and that is part of the upheaval that is going on. The other one is the 9 of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. So that to me is everything that you have worked for your whole life is just in ruins, I guess is what it feels like. And then the other card is 10 of Wands. You are carrying a very, very heavy burden right here, and you would love to be able to put that down, but at the moment, it feels like you literally have the weight of the world on you. So if this resonates with any of you guys, this is for you. If it doesn't, you might as well stop going. You might as well click off now. Ace of Wands in reverse, and it's like you can't move forward to save your life. So we're going to talk. We're going to see if we can't work through some of this and help you work your way out of this point in your life of whatever you want to call it, hell, traumatized. I'm trying to think of what words. I'm going to do emotions. What emotions are you currently dealing with right now that has got you, I'm like, hopeless. You are feeling very hopeless right at the moment. You do not see a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's mostly because you just walked into the tunnel. So let me assure you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And this is the other thing. The quicker that you understand that it's your thoughts that are creating most of this, well, I don't even know if it's most. It's your thoughts that are creating pretty much all of the trauma and hell that you are going through right now. And if you can learn how to unplug from the old programming, the quicker that you can unplug from the old programming and realize that the universe does have your back and they are working with you, or for you, not against you, the easier this will be. And sometimes you have tried to do things on your own for so long that you were messing everything up, and the universe was like, I'm going to have to step in and try to help this poor soul out because they asked for something a long time ago, and the way they are going about getting that wish fulfilled or happy ending is not, this one wants to come out. This came up in the reverse position, but I feel like this needs to be in the upright. You are probably, well, see, this is a car pulling up a hill. You are feeling inadequate, worthless, incompetent, and ill-equipped to handle what you are getting ready to go into. But let me assure you, you are stronger than you think you are. And there is a specific reason that you are going through this. Quite possibly you are one of the ones that are here to go through a very difficult process and then teach other people how to go through a very difficult process. That is part of what my job is. Sad. You've lost your bananas. Oh, that's not a banana. That's a flower. Sorry, that looked like a banana to me. A thing of bananas. You are feeling unhappy, joyless, and dejected. And now I will leave loving in the reverse. You are not feeling very loving right at the moment. You are feeling the opposite of loving and feeling very unloved at the moment. You feel like the world is against you. Everybody is against you. You've reached out for help. And I also feel like many of you may have burned your bridges by playing the victim mode many times, and people have finally went, you know what, I'm not helping you out anymore because I've tried to help you in the past. You have totally ignored what I've told you. And so you do feel very alone on this at the moment because all of the human beings have stepped away and said, you figure this shit out on your own. And worried just came up. So you're worried about finances. You could be worried about your health. You could be worried about being homeless. You could be worried about any number of things. That is, your worst fears are coming true right at the moment. And I can say that, you know, most of us have all been through that before. Anybody that has been down this path has been through there. So let me assure you, you are not alone, and you will get through this. So I'm trying to give you a motivational pep talk here, and I don't know what else I can say at the moment, but I am going to do here are some of the things that you need to look square in the face and realize that the sooner that you... Okay, so I feel like I'm hearing resistant. You are being very resistant about something. So you are resisting change. You are resisting change, and that's one of the reasons that you are suffering. You are at the start of a metamorphosis. And a metamorphosis is a change. You are resisting that with every ounce that you have. And the sooner that you can lean into this, lean into the pain, the quicker that this metamorphosis will happen, although it is not going to be quick and easy whatsoever. But you can make it more difficult on yourself by resisting it. So let's see what else the universe needs you to stop resisting so that you can get through this. We'll just call it a spiritual awakening. I'm trying to think what word I want to use on that. Awakening. Okay. That fell out. So that is quit resisting the awakening, because that is what is happening. Is there will come a point, I promise, there will come a point when you will go, oh, I get it now. And that point will be when you realize that everything that you were taught up until this very point Everything you were taught by your parents, everything you were taught by the media, everything you were taught by the church, all of the old programming from your ancestors, from your peers, from society was all a big bunch of crap. And when you realize that it was there for a reason, I mean, if you can imagine yourself kind of as you grow up as this little, you start out as a little ball of perfect energy. And then everybody starts putting their 2 cents and putting their judgments and their opinions, and they just cover you with all of this garbage. And it's kind of like, that's why you don't know which way is up right now, is because you are covered by so much garbage of other people's coulda, woulda, shoulda, you need to do this and blah, blah, blah bullshit. The sooner you can start ripping that stuff off and getting to your core, which is universal source and happiness and peace and love, the quicker that you will get out of this hell that you're in. So if you can just imagine that you're just uncovering and pulling off and unplugging from all of the old programming, the things that think that, you know, the people that hold you back, the people that hold you down, the reasons you can't move forward, and it's releasing all of that. Okay, there are 4 cards that fell out, and I'm going to take them. I'm going to see what this says. Things that you need to release. Currently, this says tribe. So currently, it may be a group of friends that you are hanging out with that are not good for you. There are a group of friends that probably are very much into the old programming and materialistic and ego-driven and have closed off their hearts, and those are not the people that you need to be hanging out with right now. You need to find a new soul tribe, people who are more optimistic about life, more optimistic about where the world is going, instead of the pessimistic ones that think that life is just the worst thing in the world. That's because they are still under that old programming, and they have not unplugged all of their old thoughts and stuff and plugged into the new board, which is the universal board of truth. Barrier, you need to release barriers. And I feel like that is fear. Fear is a barrier that stops you from doing a lot of stuff. Fear of being homeless, fear of running out of money, fear of dying alone, fear of, you know, telling a big secret that you may have because people will reject you. I mean, you name it, whatever that fear is. I highly would imagine that you are very fearful of a lot of stuff, or at least that's what I was in the past. That's the one thing that I have been letting go of for, you know, the last year, since I finally had my big aha moment. That fear, man, I'll tell you what, that fear can suck you in and really mess you up. I did a video on fear about 4 weeks ago, and it was like what my grandpa told me about fear. So as a meditation, go back and watch that. It might do you some good. Muse. Now, let me think about that, because muse normally means inspiration. But I feel like that is saying, I mean, like, I feel like you do have some inspiration, but for whatever reason, you are judging it. And maybe you have a dream in your life that you want to do, and you have that old programming of, oh, I can't make any money doing that. Oh, my family's not going to accept that. Oh, you know, I'm going to be rejected if I tell people that I want to paint murals for a living, or I want to make music for a living, or I want to do this, or I want to be a tarot reader for a living, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is that you have in your inside of you that is a dream that you are afraid to pursue, that is probably the one thing in the world that you need to go for right now more than anything. because that is a spark of source that is inside of you that needs to come out. Think about that. And the other thing is quit resisting your guides. You have a whole group of beings or people or entities, I don't know, call them whatever you want, past life, or well, past relatives, your higher self, your guardian angels, your spirit guides. There's a whole slew of names for them. Call them whatever you want. But it feels to me like you have been getting signs and synchronicities for a while, but you have not seen them. You have not paid attention to them. You are not connected with your heart and your gut and your intuition. You are trying to think about everything logically, and that is about to change. That is one of the things that happens when you go through a spiritual awakening or hell on earth, is you stop thinking from here and you start feeling from your heart and your gut. That is where you start living from. So that's what's going on. So let's do one last thing. Let me think about this. I have a whole bunch of cards here that you guys cannot see. For whatever reason, I feel like these are my mermaid cards. Okay, so any last words from the universe about what you're going through at the moment? Any last words from the universe about your trip through hell? I was just thinking about what I was going to name this video. What else does the universe have to say about your trip through hell? There's a whole bunch of cards. Let's see what these say. Atlantis, rapid development, excellence, and success. So if you have any particular resonation with Atlantis, this message is probably for you specifically. I mean, you know, I don't know if you all know this or not, but we've all been here many times. Past lives. I do past life readings, so I can help heal a lot of stuff that you can't figure out. Feelings and emotions towards people that you can't figure out. Trapped feelings that you haven't been able to get out of because there's probably some sort of karmic debt that needs to be paid. I can help clear that stuff. So send me a message if you need to set up an appointment. Time out. Awareness, contemplation, solitude, and time alone. Right now, that's the best thing that you can do, because your guides will give you messages of how to solve these colossal problems that you have created. I started to say that have been created, but you have created. I mean, if you're still in victim mode and you think that you had nothing to do with what's going on, that's one of the first things that's going to happen, is you're going to have to understand that you are not the victim, that you brought all this on in some way, shape, or form, whether you came into this lifetime to work through these lessons, or whether it was your negative thinking that attracted it, or unhealed parts of you that attracted it. I mean, I could go on for days. Homeland, arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, and settled. Homeland, that's where you're headed. You're headed home. You're headed towards feeling like you are at home within yourself. Because right now I'm guessing that you don't want to be where you're at. If you are in hell, you want to go home. And that's what we as healers are trying to help you get to. Endurance, keep going. See, the universe said, keep going. You've started down a tunnel. You got to keep going until you get to the other end, and keep pushing and healing, and understand that this is not a punishment. It really, really is not a punishment. I promise you. There is a reason for all of this. So, I'll continue to do these updates. And if you have any questions, if you need help with some healing sessions or whatever, send me a message. And I've been through my own healing journey very recently. I have figured out a lot of stuff, and I can help you guys figure out your own stuff too. So I will talk to you later. Bye.